Salah Awad Hamad is a butcher in Omdurman, Sudan's most populous city. He says his income went from 100,000 Sudanese pounds per month to 10,000 in the past 3 years as inflation in Sudan runs out of control.
I will not lie. 3 years ago, our situation was much better, even though the country was suffering from an embargo. The real problem is political conflicts. This country is ruined by politicians.
Many who spoke to VOA in Sudan say the political deadlock as military leaders try to retain control of the country instead of handing it over to civilians is having a negative impact on the standard of living. One expert said,
people don't have purchase power to buy anything. The majority of people at this point are really suffering. Again, we don't have reliable data, but we know based on some UNICEF surveys, at least 50% of Sudanese children under the age of 5 are really malnourished and not having access to enough food.
In a recent interview with VOA, Sudanese Finance Minister Jibril Ibrahim expressed frustration at debt relief being held up by the international community since the military took power in 2021. He says it will be easier to bring the economy back under control once Sudan gets
civilian government satisfactory to the West. So we don't know whether the goalpost will move after we get the civilian government. They may ask for something else. They are not going to hurt those who are ruling, but they are going to hurt the ruled.
A recent overhaul relating to the state's finances has led to criticism that the military government, which analysts say is inherently corrupt, is attempting to gain more control of the economy. Asked if that was the case, Ibrahim said,
"Actually, that's not true. The initiative came from the Minister of Finance. We have companies wholly owned by the public sector, but we have no say over what they do and how they spend their money. And that's why we tried to show that the Minister of Finance have control over the public finance."
Sudan's links to Russia and the Kremlin-linked paramilitary group Wagner have been well publicised in the media. A report by the Organised Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, an investigative journalism non-profit, found Wagner working with political and military figures in Sudan to exploit the country's gold. Ibrahim said that his ministry, at least, was doing no such thing.
I don't see much of a financial link between Sudan and Russia. Possibly the military may have some connections of buying arms. Directly with the Minister of Finance, we don't have anything. No concession is given to Wagner.
As for ordinary people in Sudan, they say they just want to see an improvement in living standards. Jassim Ala Bakir Abdallah sells petrol by the side of the road.
Let me tell you something. I don't support civil or military governments. I only support successful governments.
Sudanese authorities have said a civilian government will be formed on April 11th. Henry Wilkins for VOA News, Khartoum, Sudan.